Greetings Exiles, I'm Cod Raziel and I'm just bringing you a quick update on my Righteous Fire Chieftain for Legion League. So let's dive right into the passive tree. The first thing you'll notice is that I haven't picked up Valako or Tauhoa, and this is because it felt a bit fiddly to use. So instead I picked up Arungui and Hinekora. Hinekora gives us the chance to cover enemies in Ash, which causes them to take 20% increased fire damage. And then it also gives us a bit of strength. And then I picked up Arungui, which makes it so that enemies near our totems deal 8% less damage, and enemies near our totems take 16% increased damage. The biggest reason for this change was that rares do take quite a bit more damage now, so you have time to put up skills and whatnot. And a Scorching Ray totem fits nicely into the build, so that's what I've decided to do. As for the passive tree itself, from the one that was in the initial plan, the differences are that Unwavering Stance is actually picked up like it was supposed to be, and Disciple of the Unyielding. The interesting story about this node is I saw it and I picked it up immediately because I thought it was +1 endurance charge, and then when I found out it was minimum endurance charges, I took it off. But I forgot to check the other stats on the node, which were increased damage per endurance charge, so I picked it up again. I've also spec'd out of blood magic. It was always my plan to, once my mana got to a decent position and everything was flowing nicely, to remove blood magic, and so it's been done. This allows us to run more than one aura. The rest of the passive tree is pretty much exactly the same as it was in the plan. So with that out of the way, let's just have a look at what my gear is looking like right now. First of all, my weapon is a Dune Kubiari. I ended up having quite a bit of strength, so this seemed like a natural choice. It also gives us an extra link for our Scorching Ray totem. Socketed in here, we have Scorching Ray, linked with Spell Totem, and multiple totems. This just allows us to pop up a bunch of Scorching Rays and reduce the enemy's fire resistance as quickly as possible. A chest is pretty much just a lot of life and some strength. Socketed in our chest we have Cyclone, linked with life gain on hit, and Fortify. And I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with the Castle Channeling yet, so there's a couple of empty sockets in there. I also have Flame Dash in here. Now you could use Flame Dash or Leap Slam with pretty much the same effect in this build, but since I was using the endurance charge nodes before, I had this to generate endurance charges, and it just ended up feeling better. But you can pretty much use Sleep or Flame Dash, whichever one feels more comfortable for you. My first ring is just life and a few resists, and my next ring is a Helm's Way, which was remarkably cheap this league, so there it is. My helm is just some life, some armor, and some resistances. And socketed in my helm I have Enduring Cry, Immortal Call, and Summon Stone Golem, linked with blood magic. Now Immortal Call will probably go away because it's not useful now that I'm not needing to spend my endurance charges anymore. Next we go over the shield. It's a Rise of the Phoenix. If you've played Righteous Fire, you've probably heard about this shield. But it just boosts our maximum fire resistance by a substantial amount, allowing for easy sustaining of Righteous Fire. This will eventually be upgraded to a rare shield with reduced damage taken and all sorts of fancy goodies on it. Socketed in here we have Wave of Conviction linked with Combustion and faster casting. The reason I picked this setup is because it's pretty quick to cast and it reduces enemies' fire resistance by a substantial amount, and also means we don't need to use the Stormfire. Although we could use the Stormfire and just ignite with our Cyclone, it would be a little bit more comfortable, but this is what we're stuck with at the moment. My amulet just has a lot of strength and some life, and I crafted some flat lightning to attacks just to proc my elemental equilibrium. My gloves are Essence of Delirium crafted Legion gloves. I almost always start with Legion gloves because it makes it easy to get the colors I want. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. That gives you a bit of life, some cold res, and that's it. Socketed in here we have Righteous Fire with elemental focus, efficacy, and burning damage. Next we have the belt, which is an Elder leather belt with life recovery rate and a bit of life. You could also use Immortal Flesh here, and I was until very recently. And lastly, the boots are movement speed, life, and a little bit of resists. And socketed in here we have Precision, which boosts our hit chance on Cyclone, which was pretty handy, and the aura itself is pretty cheap. Next, Purity of Fire, a staple for most Righteous Fire builds as it increases our maximum fire resistance. And lastly, Malevolence. This boosts damage over time and also gives us a bit of skill effect duration. And that is how the build is looking now. I'm enjoying Legion League quite a bit, and I hope to continue enjoying it. I'll keep going on this build, farming lab for the most part, and just a bit of mapping here and there until I start an Uber Elder killer. While this build would eventually be capable of doing the Uber Elder, I feel like doing something else would probably do the Uber Elder quicker, and I feel like we're drifting more towards a meta where you have different tools in your toolbox for different things. And so I'll be sort of working towards setting up a team of characters this league rather than just the one. That is it for this update. There should be one more update on this build when I finalize my gear. And until then, I'd like to thank you for watching, good luck, and stay juicy.